here with Bruce Porter. Bruce, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you're here with, and share with us.
Well, my name is Bruce Porter Jr. I'm here with Liberland. Liberland is one of the world's newest micronations. It's on a small patch of land in between Serbia and Croatia on the Danube River. About 10 years, we just had our 10-year anniversary. I was just over there. I met the president about 8 years ago. I've been involved ever since, just helping on the world scene, introducing to world leaders. I'm an early Bitcoiner, so I go around the world speaking, and we do all types of events. And then recently, I became the Washington, D.C. representative, which is like the ambassador, but we don't have an ambassador yet. And I was awarded the Medal of Merit a few years ago, and we actually have a medal for Ron Paul that hopefully we're going to give to him. We're going to try to give it to him. And he already has a passport. Ron Paul is a Liberlander as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the ethos of Liberland, how it was conceived, what its ideas and merits are? Just give us a 30,000-foot view, if you will.
Sure, absolutely. So the president, Vít Jedlička, President Vít, as we call him, his father was a Czech politician. And he's a bit of a rebel rouser. I don't know all the total details, but I guess he got kicked out of the party. And then his son and him, obviously, they knew that there were these patches of land that hadn't been claimed for 40 or 50 years in between these borders of Serbia and Croatia. And so on the basis of liberty, freedom, privacy, ownership, he started this new micronation. And that's one of the reasons why, of course, Ron Paul has been a big supporter, really. He had recorded a 10-minute intro even for our 10-year anniversary. So it's been something else. But really, liberty, freedom, privacy, those are three things, and I say it around the world. We all agree on it. I'm a big crypto guy, right? So, but we all agree on that, right? You should have freedom, you should have privacy, and you should be able to own something. They shouldn't just be able to take it, right? And that is what Liberland believes in. And we're about 10 years in, like I mentioned, and we're getting more and more countries, and we're going to get them. It might be 5 years, it might be 10 years, it might be 20 years, but we're going to get there.
What are some things you can say about, seems like this concept, United States of America being one, started with these same ideals or something close to that, and over time you get bloat, you get waste, you get abuse, you get government and doing government things. What stopgaps does Liberland have in place so you're just not repeating the same thing that's been repeated throughout history?
It is, right? The same thing over and over again. And we did, right? We started out with all the right stuff. We're doing, a lot of the things that everybody else has done. And you just have to really stay on top of it. We have our Constitution. I actually brought the Constitution, haven't put it out here yet, but I'll put it out here. We have our Constitution. We have a Ministry of Justice. We have, these other types of things. But it really is, you have to keep, people need to be involved, because when people aren't involved, that's what happens. How in the world?
Responsibility is by and large the problem, in my opinion.
I agree with you 100%. I complain about it recently because my kids are they're doing theater. And so I'm having to drive, but I don't normally have to drive. And so in DC or around DC, we have these highways that were built by corporate conglomerates or whatever, and now they're charging us $25, $30 to drive on this, right? So it's just another tax. How did that happen? Because all they did was they borrowed money, which means they printed it up, right? So they printed up money, they built the highway, and then they say, now we need a revenue stream, so we're going to charge people for it. Well, that's a tax. This is being paid to somebody else. How did this happen? How did we let it happen? And we're not involved. Everybody's just in their own lives trying to do things. And it's not easy, but you have to be involved. You have to.
Great freedom comes what?
Great responsibility.
Exactly. So we're here at the Ron Paul Barbecue. Share a little bit with me personally, or the organization of Liberland, and how Ron Paul maybe impacted or influenced your life and your stances.
Well, it's really great to be here. Really honored to be here, to have our booth here, the Liberland booth, which I facilitated actually, YowCon. Really, hats off to these guys. They knew I was overseas in South of France, and they just kept kind of, hey, and then, Bruce, you really want to be here? And I'm like, you're right. I do really want to be here. I remember when Ron Paul was running, and I was living in North Carolina, obviously my family. He was running for president, and they completely shut him down. And, you know, I date myself a bit, right? But it was like he was too popular. The rallies were too big. Everybody was listening too much on the AM radio. It was like, all right, shut the guy down. And I mean, they literally just like made him disappear. And so, you know, as I got older and understood how things were working in the banking system and everything like this, I started to put everything together. And he's always really been that figure. Now, for us especially, you know, like I said, he is a Liberlander. He was one of the first guys. He has a diplomatic passport with Liberland, and he has recorded and supported us throughout our 10 years. So for us, it's very important to be here and to support him and to support liberty and to support freedom.
Awesome. What is Liberland's stance on the separation of money and state?
Well, we have, you know, it's really important. So we have a Liberland dollar, and which is ruled by math, like a lot of these other blockchains. And we also have the merit system, which is also a token. Liberland dollar is, I think more people are speculating on that, and it's gone up quite a bit. So it's been doing pretty good. The separation, the state should not be, in my opinion, in the position of just being able to tax people through printing of money. And that's like, you know, when I say that, people are, all right, you don't understand. You probably understand because you're watching Steve's show, right? So you understand, but most people don't understand. Inflation is a tax. Printing money is a tax. And so we don't believe that we should be in the position to just tax people. We have no taxes in Liberland. Taxes are voluntary. If you want to pay them, you can.
Obviously, I'm here and being a big advocate for Bitcoin Cash and how it was initially created and intended to work as peer-to-peer electronic cash. So I'm going to give you a cash stamp.
Awesome.
These are Ron Paul custom cash stamps.
Oh, no way, really?
You got either Ron Paul is my homeboy or Ron Paul was right. There you go. I'll give you the Ron Paul was right. That QR code installs a wallet. That QR code sweeps funds on a paper wallet into that wallet. You know how it works, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Tagline in the back: the necessity of the separation of money and state is the crisis of our time. That's firmly what this community agrees and believes. We are not in this for the number go up, because fiat is the root of the problem. We are in here for peer-to-peer electronic cash, one person to another, cutting out the parasitic middleman and separating money from state. There you go. Thank you so much for your time, Robert.
Thank you so much. And just to tell you, you know, Bitcoin Cash, Roger Ver, I've known Roger Ver for a long time. We're not friends or anything. I don't know him very well, but I know him. We've interviewed him a couple of times. They've sponsored some of our events. We're big supporters.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Liberland is very close to Ljubljana, which is where we have our annual conference every year.
Okay.
So would you or
Let's collab. Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, well, next year will be the third year we've had it in Ljubljana.
Okay.
And they're always looking for speakers and people to come and talk. So
Absolutely.
we can make something work. We're right next door to you guys.
100%. We can probably get the president there
Awesome.
as well.
Let's make it happen.
All right, let's do it. Cheers.
We'd love to have send a representative to Ljubljana, Slovenia. It's not very far from Liberland.
Yeah.
And we have actually a number of Slovenians involved with Liberland.
Fantastic.
So we'll be more than happy to have a representative there. I believe you said the next one is in May?
May 15th, 2026. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, please follow up with me. I'll give you my card. And I'm over there in Europe 3/4 of the time, 75% of the time.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you mentioned Roger Ver earlier. If we could just recap that again.
Sure. Roger's been always been a fan of ours and a supporter, and he's also been very generous to us in the past. So we're definitely appreciative of that. And also, we use Bitcoin Cash as one of our national reserves. So we use it as a means of exchange quite often. Yeah.
We should be. Well, let's make it happen for next year if we can. Fantastic.
I've held BCH for a while, and use it. I just put some up for sale the other day. Yeah. I know it's going up a little bit.
Sure. Do you actually use it as currency, as a medium of exchange as well?
We have used it to settle payments, yeah.
What have you noticed? We noticed in the last years in Ljubljana that things like Go Crypto and EliPay, they were once pretty prolific in that area. and it seems like they've kind of pulled back. Have you noticed this in all over Europe?
There's been different attempts at having like a easier, more user-friendly payment system between people. And, you know, sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, I think the challenge is figuring out which one will actually work and have higher user adoption rates. So it's always, you know, the next big thing. Is it the next big thing or not? So we work with the Lightning guys. In Prague, there's a group that always comes and sets up, and they take Lightning payments and things like that. And we also, our tech team and marketing team works with different providers. So I don't know what the latest is, but if we could probably put you in touch with one of them, and they can let you know what our intentions are in that area.
If you can, we're here obviously at the Ron Paul barbecue. Can you share just a little personal anecdote on how Ron Paul maybe influenced or impacted your life?
Well, Ron Paul and I go back a long time. When I was in college, we invited Ron Paul to speak at our campus when he was the Libertarian candidate for president.
88. Awesome. What campus was that?
Gainesville, Florida, University of Florida. And, you know, he'd been used to giving talks to like 7 people, 10 people. We got like 200 or 300 people to come out and see Ron Paul. I have a picture of when he visited us. I can show that to you. I also, with his when he returned to Congress, I also worked and volunteered and helped hold a fundraiser for those campaigns, and also during his presidential campaigns.
So very much involved.
Yes, and ran before he was a senator, long before he was a senator. Came and stayed with us in Gainesville for like a week. Hung out with us.
Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Long live the revolution.
Revolution.